Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are ready to get this morning started, to get this day started. And why is blinking over there? Good morning. I'm just sharing this to one other place. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Specialist, so what better place to be than here with me. Good morning. That's going to be a good day. It's going to be an amazing day. As my grandpa said, you're on this side of the living, so it doesn't get much better than that. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel where they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. It's almost 450 videos strong over there. Grand Rising, my friend. Oh, y'all can't see my look. Y'all can't see the books. Let's open the books up so you guys can see the books. Good morning, my Michelle. And if your friends and family don't do social media, I do have podcasts. It is the Live Past Crazy Show. So you can grab that. And if they don't do any electronic devices, I have 5 books. 3 are here. Fearless One, Born to Give Thanks, Transition to Freedom. And God Says I Am Battle Scar Free. If you don't want to be bothered with any or looking for them, send me a message and I will provide you the link so that you can purchase them. So I hope you guys are ready to get started. I hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. Y'all, we had a good time yesterday on the Fearless Morning Show. We did. It was, if you missed yesterday, I read, excuse me, I read from my journal dated June 9th, as I'm growing, what it means to make room inside of myself. And what that looks like. And what I learned again on the water at the beach. Y'all can see the sunburn is peeling now. But that's okay. All right, so let's get started. Here is, make sure you share the show. And if you do, please tag me so I can tell you thank you, or let me know that you shared it so I can tell you thank you. I greatly appreciate that. The quote of the day is, don't fence me in. I don't know who said that, but I like it. Don't fence me in. I think for me that is important because there have been a lot of times where I felt like I was something or a situation was fencing me in, and I didn't like that feeling. And some of us feel fenced in now with our jobs, with our friendships, relationships, whatever it may be. We're feeling fenced in right now, and that's not. I put myself inside of a fence, and now that I'm outside of it, trying to put me back into confinement it's just not going to work. So the quote of the day is, don't fence me in. Don't know who said it, but I like it. All right, the thought of the day is, may the force be with you. I was talking to someone yesterday and that came up, and it made me think about the internal. When I think about may the force be with you, I'm thinking about the internal you that is always encouraging you or reminding you to go for it. That's always telling you, hey, you can do this, you can accomplish this, this is the right move, this is the right thing. We call it intuition, you can call it God, you can call it the universe, you can call it whatever it is, but whatever that force is that is with you, may it always be with you. Sometimes we override that force, we override that thought process, or that no, I call it the knower, that we depend on so much, and sometimes we override that and we don't listen to it, so we are off in no man's land when we didn't understand the force that was inside of us. So may the force be with you. When I think about that as far as myself, because um, I'm in a transition. I think I talked about this yesterday, where I am growing and stretching, and it is uncomfortable, right? So I'm here where it's uncomfortable with the growing and the stretching. And it is in this part right here that I've got to understand that the force is with me. However you explain that to yourself, or however you accept that, that's why I have to understand that if I am going on this journey, then I've got to trust the knower in me. I've got to trust the divine, the creator, God. I've got to trust all of them to know that I am going in the right direction, and that they're leading me in the right direction. Um, if you don't, if you're not used to listening to the force that's within you, that's okay. um the point of the journey is that you begin to listen to that force. You can call it, I'm a God's girl, so you can call it God, you can call it the Holy Spirit, again, the creator, the divine. I don't limit God to any word, so I call him all the above. To me, he is the creator, he is the universe, he is the great one, he is whatever name that is limitless that I can attach. I don't even know if we can even put that into words. And so I use all those words to describe him, but I allow that to speak in me, because we all have the divine in us. And again, we use our superpower to override the divine in us, to convince ourselves that we cannot and we will not and we should not do the things that we want to do. Last week I talked about introducing yourself to life, what that looks like, and why some of us are not really living. Uh, we've never found life. We've never introduced ourselves to life. And you can say, Judge, I live every day. No, there's a difference between living every day and experiencing life every day. There's a big difference between the two of those two things. And I think when we take the time, y'all know the one first step to live past crazy is to be quiet. It is in the being quiet, in the meditation, and the thinking process, and the not speaking process, that you begin to hear the force that's within you that is going to lead and guide you. I learned that absolutely the hard way. And I don't want you to learn the hard way. That's why I share how I live past crazy. And that's why it's important for me to get up and do the morning show every morning, so that if I can share any part of my journey that's going to make you, as Arsenio Hall says, make you go, to think just for a second, or to allow you that safe space to grow and to think, then my job is done. But may the force be with you today on this one. It's going to be an amazing day today. Yesterday, I had to, and this is where purpose partners really come in handy. And And now I'm crooked. Let's see if this works. Hold on, y'all. There we go. Have no idea what happened, but that's okay. Let's see if we are back working, if you guys can hear me and see me. Yesterday was a trying day. It's okay. And today will not be so. Maybe I was going to say something I didn't have no business saying. And that's okay. Lesson learned. All right. I think we're back now. Can you guys hear me? All right. The fearless quote of the day is, don't fence me in. The fearless thought of the day is, may the force be with you. That is our fearless thought of the day. So we were talking about how we've got to allow the force inside of us, the divine, the creator, to lead and guide us. Thank you, Michelle, for telling me. I absolutely got froze, and my internet went out, which is strange. So we're up and moving again. So let me make this quick before we have any other issues. Some of the things that I learned this week and what I was talking about learning yesterday in two conversations is that one, you are absolutely allowed to have your day or your time where you are angry, you're frustrated, but we are not. I don't allow myself to stay in that space. I allow myself to feel my anger, my frustration, and to move through it. And then the second conversation I had just reminded me that the force that's moving inside of me is greater than my anger and my frustration that I may be feeling at the moment. And it is absolutely only temporary that I'm feeling this thing or I'm thinking this thing. And so when I talk about may the force be with you, it is that thing, that Noah that you trust, that says, even when everything else is going crazy, this is going the right way. I'm on the right journey. I'm walking on the right road. I am doing the right thing. And yesterday I had to really pull on that, which brings me back to, we're a small business. Grow yourself, your foundations. You're the engineer. You have all the tools in your hands. If you missed some of those shows, if you go over to YouTube and type them in, you can find them, or they're here on my page, all of those videos. And it also ties into yesterday, where I talked about I'm growing. As I'm growing, I have to make room for myself to grow inside of myself. Meaning I'm stretching and going to the physical, mental, and emotional limitations of what I currently know. And that's going to require more space inside of me to comprehend the new journey and to make room for the new path and a new abundance. And that is the force being with me. That is the God, the divine, the universe. That is all of that leading and guiding me, and me giving it space to grow and to lead and guide me. Sometimes we say, oh, well, God leads and guides me, or I'm a God's girl, and he absolutely leads and guides me. But do we make space for him to do so? Do we make space for that? Good morning, Tiffany. Do we make space for that to happen? So today I want you to let the force be with you. I want you to make room for the greatness and the abundance to come. And even if you're not ready to say those words, allow the force, and please attach whatever name you like. Y'all know that's a Star Wars term. Yoda said that, may the force be with you. And for me, that is the thing that makes you solid, the foundation that makes you you, the guiding you, the divine in you that is leading and guiding you. And today, allow that voice space, allow that divine, allow the force space inside of you. Because we can say, "Oh, I let the Lord lead me." No, not really. We let the Lord lead, or the divine, or the Creator lead to the extent in which we can tell it what to do, but we don't allow it the space to grow and move on our behalf. And again, I have still been using these words. I give my breath and my words direction to do this thing. And so when I say that, I also add, I give the divine space and room inside of me to move and grow and to allow the abundance to come. So as I'm giving my words and my breath direction, I'm also allowing space for the force, the divine, God himself to move inside of me, and instead of me hindering it with my thought process. Because yesterday I had one of them days yesterday. And Tiffany, if you on here, I finally got my phone and I sent Tiffany a message, and I was like, "Can I talk to you? I need a minute." When I tell you, I was up here, like beyond the ceiling in 10 point. I was on 1 million yesterday, and I had to do my own tactics to bring myself back down. But I also allowed myself to feel the anger, to feel the frustration, to feel whatever I was feeling. And here's the thing: we cannot reside in that. I'm all for feeling it and allowing yourself to have all of those feelings. I'm just not going to reside there, meaning I'm not going to stay there for hours and hours, and then it's going to turn into a day and a week, and eventually you have a mood and you have an attitude and you have a behavior because of one incident that you did not allow to stop. So I had my moment yesterday for a good hour and a half. I had my moment, and then I brought myself back with, of course, breathing and meditation, but with the thought of I give my breath and my words direction and the force that is within me to make room for the abundance that I need and to push out all the negative thoughts. And that took me going outside, drinking drinking some water, taking some deep breaths. But I did whatever I had to do to remove the negative off of me and to remove the anger and work myself through it, and then begin again. And I think sometimes we think because we have had a bad thought or whatever, that it stops the entire day or it stops the entire process. It does not. You are free and you can start over at any point you desire to start over. So yesterday I started over around 2:30. Yes, I started over around 2:30 as if it was a brand new day. I give my words and my breath direction to do this. I'm allowing space for the divine, the creator, the force in me to work on my behalf. And my day was extremely much better after that point. So at any point you have the option to turn that day around. May the force be with you is my way of saying allowing space for the divine, the creator, God to continue to be the guiding voice, to be the guiding structure that you follow. And even if you say, well, Jojo, I don't understand, I don't know, sometimes all you got to do is take the next right step for the moment. Not the day, not the hour, but the next right step for the moment. And if the next right step for the moment is for you to say, you know what? Like yesterday, I said, I'm angry and I'm mad. And this is why I'm angry and I'm mad. And once I said that, and I looked at, well, why am I feeling, and y'all know me, I'm a nerd. You don't have to do this, but this is me working through it. Why am I angry and mad? Well, I'm mad because this, and this happened. Well, what could you have done differently? Because I'm going to check myself before I allow anybody else to check me. And so when I checked myself, I also saw where I played a part in what happened and how I got to that space. Then, as I was outside taking a deep breath and being quiet, then I allowed myself some grace to say, okay, that happened and that's okay. But from this point, you can have the rest of your day so much better. At that point, I said, I give my breath and my words direction to do this. I allow space inside of me for the force, the divine, the creator to work on my behalf, and for me not to hinder and get in the way. Because if you're like me, I am a recovering Miss Know-It-All. I'm about 90% there. We working on that other 10%, okay? Because hey, it is what it is. I was a single parent for a very, very long time. And it's just been me and the girls. And so it was my way or the highway. And I am absolutely a Miss Know-It-All. Absolutely. Don't tell me that. Let me tell you. And then it's been a process. So I say I'm a recovering Miss Know-It-All. I got 10% to go. We working on that half. But and I found that I was hindering myself in all of that when I didn't allow the force of things, when I didn't allow the space for it to happen. that I was hindering myself. I was absolutely hindering myself when I did not allow the divine to work on my behalf, or if I assumed that I was right, period. So on this wonderful day, the quote of the day is "Don't fence me in." The thought of the day is "May the force be with you," which kind of ties to yesterday, in your growing and your stretching physically, mentally, and emotionally, because you're going to your limitations. You've gone as far as you can go. To go as far as you can go, right there is where the force needs to be with you. Whatever you call that force, whatever you subscribe to, whatever your thought process, whatever your religion, whatever it is, allow that force to be with you as you move and as you grow, but allow it space. Because I can say on a thousand times that I have prayed and said, Jesus, good morning, Miss Carrie. Where are you, Lord? Help me. I need a miracle, right? I've done all the things. And when I got quiet and realized I was the one standing in the way of everything that I was asking for, then your feelings really get hurt, because you were like, oh, so you mean to tell me I was hindering my own blessings? And let me tell you how you do that. You hinder your own blessings first by assuming they were never yours when you asked for them. When you ask, you never believed that you was going to get it, so the blessing never comes. So you praying for the same thing that you believe that you cannot have. You see how they can't go together? So that's when you say, oh, but I'm waiting on Jesus. Well, I'm waiting on God to make a way. Well, maybe it was never meant for me to have it. Maybe you're the hindrance to your blessing. Because y'all know the scripture, when you ask amiss. You asked and you didn't believe it. So why should you get something you don't even believe that you're going to receive? So maybe that's the reason why our prayers haven't been answered. Maybe we are the hindrance to ourselves. There is nothing stopping us from our blessings, because if you believe in God, if you're God's girl, we live in his kingdom, right? We have certain rights as kingdom citizens, and the king's responsibility is to take care of the citizens of the kingdom, right? And we are his children. And it gives him more pleasure to take care of us than the birds and the fowls of the air. So if I'm asking for something and I do not believe it, it is not his fault. He's not waiting on JoJo, or he's not saying no. Maybe JoJo needs to work on her attitude to understand her rights and her talents and her God-given things to understand her power that she has in her hand. Some of us, we don't understand the power that we have in our hand, which is our mouth and our body, because we are our own miracle, period. And when we can remove ourselves out of the way, then the blessings can come. Then they have room to come. You're taking up all of your space. So when I say may the force be with you, you got to make room for that. You got to make room for the divine, the creator, your thought process. You got to make room for all of that. Right now, you got your chest out. You saying it with your chest. I can do this by myself. Okay. But you're praying for it, but you're insisting you can do it by yourself. And you're not believing all of it. You made a perfect storm. You're asking for grand, and you don't even believe that you can have the mediocre. You're asking for more when you don't even like the less. Let me tell you something. When I was living in the hood with the roaches, honey, and the air conditioner didn't work because it was a cylinder block apartment. And I stayed out every night till 12:30, 1 in the morning, even on a school night, because at least by the time we came in at 1 in the morning, it was 93 to 90 degrees, and we could possibly sleep. And when the heat was on, because of the cylinder block, there was no heat. So it was cold. So we all slept in one room with the heat on and an extra heater with faulty electrical. With the roaches in the hood, with the gunshots. Honey, I treated that place like it was a mansion. I kept it immaculate. I kept it clean. I decorated. I took pride in where I lived, because I understood that this was not my current reality, number one. And I understood for the more to come, I had to appreciate the less and where I was at. See, if I can take care of the less, then I get the responsibility of the more. But if I'm complaining continuously about the lesson I don't have and I don't know, and this ain't this, and if I'm focused on that, then I can never get to the more. I can't ever receive it because there's no room for it, because it's taken up with my complaining and what I don't have. And so my focus is wrong. And so the force may be with me. God may be steady speaking to me. Divine is trying to tell me, Jojo, this is the way, but I cannot see it because I am insisting on paying attention to the lesson of lack that I have. And we, my sisters, become our own hindrance to our blessing. It ain't that God don't want to give it to you. It ain't that the universe and all this greatness and vastness thereof is not wanting to give you that thing. You just can't receive it, because if you did, where would it go? Would you appreciate it? Would you say thank you? Because as we experience life every day, I want you to introduce yourself to life. As you do that, are you thankful for that today? I was thankful for that place in the hood every day. Every day I was thankful. And then when I got the more, I was thankful for that. As I got the more, I was thankful for that. So on this wonderful day, may the force be with you. Allow space for the force to lead and guide you first, and then be aware that it is there. Listen to it, pay attention to it, because it is absolutely leading and guiding you to where you need to be. Absolutely. But you have got to take time to acknowledge that. And if you do not do that, then it's trying to get your attention. But we're so focused on other things that we can't hear it. So may the force be with you. Please make room for it today. Please allow space for it to grow today. Just say, I allow the force within me. You can say God. You can say whatever word you choose to. I give it space inside of my being and my atmosphere to move on my behalf today. I'm going to move out of their way so the abundance that I said I wanted is free to come. I'm going to check myself and my attitude and remove myself out of the way so that I can receive the more that I said that I wanted. Period. As you grow. And this really ties into yesterday. Yesterday was a rough day. I ain't gonna lie. It was a really rough day for me. But when I turned it around at 2:30 in the afternoon, because you can restart your day at any time you want. And y'all, sometimes when I'm having a bad day and it's 3, 4 o'clock and it don't seem like JoJo can't turn it around, I go to bed. That's what I do. I call everybody and say, I'm going to sleep now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I call my mama, my sister, my cousins. I call whoever I talk to on a normal basis. That's how I'm going to bed. And then I allow my mental and my emotional health to rest and relax, because we've handled all that we can handle today. You got to understand your limit. And I've learned that by listening to the force that guides me, that says, hey, JoJo, listen, this here ain't working for you today. Take a break. Go sleep. Oh, okay, I got it. And yesterday I had that day up until the moment where I decided, you know what? I give my breath and my words direction today to accomplish this thing. I give the force today I give the force space inside of me to create a better atmosphere. After I took my little walk, I took some air, I did my deep breathing, had a glass of water, and my day was so much better past 2:30. We can feel all the feels. You can have that. We're just not allowed to wallow there and stay there. That's how if you stay in that hurt, anger, fear, frustration, that's how you can get the angry black woman syndrome. That's how you can have, oh, she got a mood. Oh, she has a bad attitude. Oh, she has a behavior problem. That's how all of that develops, because one thing happened and you allowed it space to grow inside of you, and it has overtaken you, and you don't even know why you feel that way. It's because of one incident and you didn't check it. So as I'm growing, this is my entry from yesterday. We talked about this yesterday. As I'm growing, I'm making room for myself to grow inside of myself. And in growing inside of myself, I've got to make room for the force. All of that is part of my journey. If I negate that part, the journey is going to be harder, because the divine lives in all of us. Whatever you call God, the universe, divine, creator, whatever word, it all lives. That is that voice that tells you this is the next right step. This is the next right step. And as I'm growing and stretching physically, mentally, emotionally of what I currently know, it's going to require more space inside of me to comprehend that new journey, which is me understanding and listening to the force that says, now we out on a new journey, JoJo. This is it. And this is the direction that you need to go. And you've got to learn to trust that. So on this wonderful Tuesday morning, this entire show was for me. It was absolutely for me. We've got to learn to listen to it and trust it. Check yourself and move out of your own way so that you do not continue to block your blessings, your abundance. Sometimes you're blocking it simply with your mind, and your mind is your superpower. Let's never forget that our mind is our superpower, okay? No one is in here but us. And if you just, even if anger and frustration takes up 99.9%, there is that little tiny percent left, and it allowed you to be here at the Fearless Morning Show today. You couldn't have watched it yesterday. You had to watch it today so that you could hear it in that percentage that is available today for you to think, now, wow, what if? And it's just that percentage that you needed that's now going to overtake that 99.9% and push it away to allow different thoughts to come. I'm a firm believer your journey begins exactly when it is supposed to. You have arrived at the perfect time. It couldn't have been any other day, any other time other than today, period. And that is the force that speaks to us, that says, now you can receive, because the information is there. All the blessings and everything that we need is there. We are the hindrance to our blessings first. As we pray them, we don't believe them. As we say them, we don't acknowledge them. As we think them, we're doubting them. And at some point, my sister, you got to believe and not doubt. You have to think and know. You have to trust and go. I like that. Someone needs to write that down. I might need to listen to that again. I like that. You got to trust and go. Go as far as you can go, and then go as far as you can go, and then go as far as you can go. Sometimes you need to see abundance to continue on your journey, period. So on this wonderful Tuesday, don't fence me in is the quote of the day. The fearless start of the days, may the force be with you. So today, allow space for the force to guide you. Check yourself, move out of your own way, and allow room for that to happen today. And it can happen just like that if you move yourself out of the way. So I hope this has helped someone today, guys. I know it has helped me. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. I do have 5 books. You can read them all. If you send me a message, I will give you the link to all 5 books. One is on leadership. One is on mental health. 3 are on my personal life. If you don't know my story, you can go to livepastcrazy.com, and their information is on about me. Or read book 1 and 2 about why I am the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Because what I know is crazy. I know that. I know that part. So I share my journey so that you do not have to continue along that way. And hopefully the things that I have learned give you an insight of what you don't want to do. You don't want to go down that way. And maybe something I've shared gives you a hope or an idea or a thought process to think differently about something. And you're free to say, JoJo, you crazy, but I'm going to think about that. You can say that. You can say, JoJo said that. You can talk about me however you feel. That's okay. As long as you are introducing a new thought to your mind, that's all that matters. And I'm a firm believer that is absolutely how we are going to change the world, one sister at a time. If I can say something that's going to help one sister, who will then share that information with her friends and her family, and that they change their family, and then that will change their community, and then we will change the world, one sister at a time. So if you've learned anything, you're now charged to share it with another sister and or brother, because I'm also my brother's keeper. and allow them to change their family, to change their community, to change the world. So let the force be with you today, my friend. Say the words. I give space for the force within me to lead and to guide and to make room for the abundance. And just for today, believe in whatever it is that you're asking for without doubting that thing. Don't doubt it, period. Okay? Say it and don't have another thought. Here's how I do it. I say it and then I don't think nothing else about it. As soon as I say what I want, and if the old JoJo, the one, Panic Patty over there, as soon as Panic Patty says, but JoJo, wait a minute, you don't understand. I tell her, go sit down. I'm not talking to you. And I allow that good thought to have its own space to grow. Sometimes you got to check Panic Patty, negative Nelly. And sometimes that is you. You're all of her wrapped up in one. On this journey, you're fighting the old you with the new you and continue on that journey. So you better learn to check yourself, check Panic Patty, your old self over there, and tell her to have a seat, because we on a new journey, honey. You might as well buckle up, because we about to ride this thing out. So I hope you guys will join me on this journey. Hope you have an amazing day. Please make sure you share the show. Good morning, Kimberly. How you doing? I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please make sure you share. I cannot do it without you. Don't forget, the Sister Rise Retreat is coming up in October. Sister Rise, and Rise stands for Revitalizing Individual Sacred Energy. This is not your normal retreat. There will not be we sitting in a conference room. It is only open to 12 women. It is in Savannah. It is in a private home. You will have a private chef, and we will be doing all the self-work of what it is to understand our superpower and how we harness that and how we're going to use that to grow. So there will be the breathing of the deep breaths. There will be the morning meditations. There will be the quiet. There will be time to journal. There will be the hard questions that we're going to ask that's going to allow us to think, that's going to free us from ourselves and our self-concept of what we're going to challenge our self-concept of ourselves and see how we have been hindering ourselves along this journey. And if just for a minute, if we could take those hindrances off, what our journey would look like, what our abundance and our blessings would look like. And so this retreat is not for the play. It's the weekend. It's from Friday to Sunday, and we will be doing the serious work. So check it out. If you have questions, please send them to me, and please share. We have 10 tickets left, and the price will be going up after August. Good morning, Miss Joe. So please make sure you check out the Sister Rise Retreat. And Rise stands for Revitalizing Individuals' Sacred Energy, because your energy is sacred. It is important. It is what leads and guides you. And you absolutely have got to pay attention to that. So you'll be hearing more about that coming up very, very soon. But that is the link, so you can check it out. And if you have any questions, please just send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Please make sure you share the show, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.